Disney Plus's K-drama knockoff has been suddenly scrapped with no comeback in sight, throwing the entire production into chaos. What's worse, the cast is turning on each other, especially Kim Soo Hyun, who's apparently being blamed for destroying everything they built. Originally announced in August, Knockoff was shaping up to be one of Disney Plus's biggest K-dramas. The story followed Soo Hyun as Kim Sung Joon, a regular office worker who loses everything during the 1997 financial crisis, only to climb his way up to the top of the counterfeit underworld. His character was set to clash with Song Hye-jong, played by Jo Boa, an ex-girlfriend turned special judicial officer tasked with cracking down on counterfeit goods. With direction from Park Hyun-suk, a star-studded cast including Yoo Jae-myung, Lee Jung-gun, Nara, and Park Se-hwan, and a staggering 60 billion won budget, expectations were sky high. A huge chunk of that budget reportedly went straight to Soo Hyun's fee, banking on his post-Queen of Tears fame to drive international success. The show was planned as an 18-episode two-parter, with the first half ready for an April 2025 launch, but just as everything was coming together, Soo Hyun's scandal hit and the entire project came crashing down. At first, everything looked normal. The drama was still filming, Soo Hyun was spotted on set for season 2, and the release date hadn't changed. Even insiders told OSIN that production was running smoothly with no signs of stopping. But behind the scenes, things were boiling over. Fans were furious as many believed Disney was turning a blind eye, desperate to protect their investment in a show that had already cost a fortune. Swapping out Soo Hyun wasn't realistic at that point, but viewers couldn't believe the company wasn't taking the situation seriously. The backlash grew so loud that K-drama fans launched a boycott, determined to make it clear they didn't want Soo Hyun fronting such a major series. As many predicted, Disney's refusal to properly address the scandal ended up backfiring. While they stayed quiet and tried to move forward as if nothing had happened, the drama's sponsors were already getting uneasy about the growing backlash. Then, on March 21st, the production team officially announced that Knockoff would be delayed indefinitely. Despite season 1 already being completed, there were now talks of scrapping the project entirely or possibly recasting it. Unsurprisingly, Soo Hyun was at the center of it all. With every brand cutting ties and the controversy still ongoing, the drama became yet another production pulling away from him. To make things worse, reports claimed he might even have to pay large penalty fees due to the suspension. By April 23rd, the cast and crew were notified that filming had been halted with no restart date in sight. Between sponsor pressure, fan boycotts, and Disney's growing concerns, it became clear that the drama couldn't continue as originally planned, not with the current cast, and not with the scenes they had already filmed. Ever since the drama was shelved, people have been asking the same question. Do any of the cast members resent Soo Hyun for sinking a project they spent months working on? Well, all signs point to actress Choi Giri possibly feeling that way. Giri's career was just starting to take off. She had a few small roles after debuting in Uncle back in 2021, where she played one of the daughters of the main characters. From there, she slowly built up her filmography with appearances in Rookie Cops, Behind Every Star, and Battle for Happiness. But her big moment came with Marry My Husband, where, even in a supporting role, she gained attention and love from viewers for her performance. Being cast as Soo Hyun's younger sister in Knockoff looked like the next step in her rise. It was the kind of role that could have solidified her status and opened doors to bigger projects, but instead she filmed an entire series that may never see the light of day, all because of a scandal she had nothing to do with. And it's not just about the lost screen time. Giri and Si-eun are the same age, and although Giri didn't enter the industry as a child star, the fact that someone her age may have suffered at the hands of someone as powerful as Soo Hyun, someone she was supposed to work closely with, must have hit hard. Even if she hasn't said anything publicly, many suspect she might be carrying a lot of anger over how things turned out, and honestly, who could blame her? Actress Kim Se-eun's situation is just as puzzling, maybe even more. Like Giri, she's fairly new to acting, though she did pop up in variety shows as a kid. Her first real acting gig was Sweet Revenge in 2017, and she had a few supporting roles in the critically acclaimed movie Next So-hee and the drama run On. But everything changed last year when she played player 095 Kim Young-mi in Squid Game 2. That role finally gave her mainstream recognition, and people expected her to explode in popularity. So when she was announced as part of the Knockoff cast, it seemed like a natural next step. A rising star fresh off Squid Game joining a huge budget series alongside Soo Hyun, it looked like a guaranteed career boost. But then without warning, reports claimed that Si-eun had suddenly dropped out and the newcomer Bong Hyo-rin would be taking her place. No one really knows what happened, as there was no clear explanation, just that she was out. That didn't sit right with fans. Why would she walk away from her first project since Squid Game, especially one with so much hype and a star like Si-eun leading it? At this point, it was normal that theories started flying. Some speculated that Si-eun himself had her removed, but that didn't make much sense since Si-eun is signed under his own agency, gold medalist. Cutting her would reflect badly on him and the company. Others guessed she left for a different project, but months have passed and there's been no news about anything new. And if she did leave by choice, people still wonder if it had something to do with Si-eun personally. After all, he co-founded Gold Medalist with his cousin Lee Sarang, and now that he's caught up in a scandal that's shaking the entire industry, the agency is barely staying afloat. With Soo-hyun as their main source of income, the company is reportedly on the verge of collapse, and that puts Si-eun's future in jeopardy too. She hasn't said a word publicly, but in this situation, what could she even say? Nara might be one of the people hit hardest by everything surrounding Soo-hyun, and not just once, but twice. You might know her from her time in the K-pop group Hello Venus, or from her solid acting resume with roles in Suspicious Partner, My Mister, and Itaewon Class. She's been slowly building her career in the drama world, and Knockoff was supposed to be her big 2025 project. She was cast as Moon Yubin, a character who designs knockoff luxury bags, a pretty unique and interesting role. However, as we mentioned, the drama is now in limbo. It hasn't officially been scrapped, but with all the backlash surrounding Soo-hyun, things aren't looking good. Even if the drama does manage to air, it'll probably face serious viewer boycott, and that could hurt Nara's image too, especially since this was the only role she had lined up this year. It's not just a missed opportunity, it could have career consequences, and sadly this isn't even the first time Soo-hyun's work has indirectly messed with hers. Back in 2024, Nara starred in The Midnight Studio. It had a solid plot, a talented cast, and a good time slot, but it happened to air during the same period as Queen of Tears, which starred Soo-hyun, and as expected, his drama completely overshadowed hers. The Midnight Studio ended up with a disappointing 2.09% average rating and just under 500,000 viewers per episode. Not because it was bad, but because it couldn't compete. So now, looking at the pattern, it's understandable if Nara isn't exactly thrilled with how things have played out. Her last drama got buried because of Soo-hyun's popularity, and now her next one might never air because of his scandal. At this point, no one would blame her for being more than a little upset. Jo Boa might be one of the cast members who lost the most from the drama falling apart. She wasn't just another face in the lineup, she was one of the leads, playing Song Hye-jong opposite Soo-hyun. A lot of fans were excited to see the two together on screen, and it was clear this project was a major milestone for her. Boa hadn't done a drama since Destined With You, which wrapped in October 2023. Then, in October 2024, she got married to her longtime non-celebrity boyfriend, so Knockoff was meant to be her big return after marriage, a fresh chapter in both her personal and professional life. That made it even more significant. In fact, she was so committed to the project that she reportedly postponed her honeymoon just to focus on filming. She even spoke warmly about working with Soo-hyun, despite it being their first time acting together. According to her, he made things easier on set, helped her relax, and his performance helped her dive deeper into her own character. It sounded like everything was lining up for this drama to be something special, but then the scandal hit, and now all that work might never be seen. And though Boa has since moved on and is currently appearing in the Netflix series Dear Hongrang, which is now likely to be considered her post-marriage comeback instead, it's hard not to imagine how disappointed she must be. The drama was supposed to be her moment, and it got taken away. On top of that, learning about Soo-hyun's alleged involvement with Si-eun and the disturbing claims surrounding it must have been shocking, especially after trusting and praising him so publicly. Even if she hasn't said anything, she probably feels betrayed on more than one level. So far, Boa is the only Knockoff cast member who's been publicly asked about the scandal and its impact on the drama. As mentioned, she's currently starring in another project called Dear Hongrang, which is a mystery melodrama set during the Joseon era. The story centers on Hongrang, a powerful merchant family's long-lost son who returns after 12 years with no memories, while his half-sister Jae-yi suspects something's off about him. When interviewed about the delay of the drama caused by Soo-hyun's scandal, Boa carefully chose her words. She said she was worried her comments might unintentionally hurt someone, so she preferred to stay quiet on the matter for now. She went on, "Knockoff is a project we all worked hard on. Everyone was enthusiastic and it's filled with love and effort. I hope that someday people will recognize that work and that it will have a good outcome." Even when asked about her honeymoon, which we mentioned she missed because of the shoot, Boa remained extra cautious and kept her responses to a minimum. Her remarks, though subtle, were enough to confirm that the uncertainty surrounding Knockoff has been just as difficult for the cast and crew as it has been for fans awaiting its release. It also seemed like she didn't want to speak negatively of her co-star or the project, in case it went live either way and she was hit with a ton of criticism. However, she seemed to be glad that Dear Hongrong is her comeback project, and she seems to have had a lot of fun being a part of it. Right now, Knockoff's future is really up in the air. Given everything going on, it doesn't look like the drama will be released anytime soon, if ever. If Soo-hyun's scandal somehow gets cleared up, there's a chance the show could still come out, especially since so much money has already been invested. But even then, it could face heavy boycotts and fail badly. We'll just have to wait and see how things unfold, so stay tuned for updates.